Okay, good morning, good morning, good morning. Stocks go up, stocks go down. Then we see. Okay. Interesting day yesterday. Way up, then way down. Nothing has really changed, but it has. Isn't that interesting? So what has changed? What's changed is there's a shutdown date they're talking about now. So you need to understand that. If the government doesn't pay its bills, air traffic controllers, all this stuff, people don't go to work, a lot of the government offices are all closed, people don't get checks, Social Security, so a lot of issues. This is just beginning. This is another 2 weeks away, so probably doesn't affect it today. But just know that I'm hearing from some of my contacts that they're already going into shutdown mode, which means less trading, Thanksgiving's coming, and this is happening. Now, what does that mean? That means bigger moves. Now, we haven't had this big move down. We had this big move up. Everything looks better, and then we see. Okay, so NVIDIA way up, and then wait. Let me tell you, if you're stupid, don't trade. Okay, so just, guys, go answer this question. Are you stupid? If you're stupid, don't trade. I'm just telling you that, okay? If NVIDIA goes from 1 to 5 and you don't sell it, it's your fault and it's your mother's fault for raising you that way, okay? That's it. I'm not going to cut corners and tell you that it's not your fault. If you make 50 grand and you don't sell it and it goes down, it's somebody else's fault. What the hell problem is that, really? Okay? Okay, so very straightforward. So NVIDIA now is running again because there's a thing that they're going to roll out new chips, which we knew yesterday. But now they're giving you a date. I believe they said the 16th. Okay? So on the 16th, they're going to unveil this chips. So if he comes out and says they're already sold out on the new ones, this is 500. That's next week. Isn't that interesting? Interesting. So we'll keep an eye on that one, okay? LLY, let's talk about LLY, and let's talk about the ridiculous people in the world, and they're called shorts. They try to take stocks down, and they can do it for a day or two, and they just get stupid, okay? So Lilly gets approved. You have the cardio side of it, news coming this weekend, and AstraZeneca says they partnered with somebody to do a pill form of this instead of an injector. Okay. So all these guys start selling it on all the bulletin boards and tell you AstraZeneca, the pill is better than the injector. Till you realize that Eli Lilly, CEO, comes on TV and says, we have a pill version in phase 3. Okay, so phase 3, maybe, 3 months to 9 months away. Okay, so it's a bit away. But AstraZeneca is starting phase 2. They're a year and a half to 2 years away. Their competition is a year behind them. Let me tell you, the amount of utter stupidity in the world is at an all-time high. It's at an all-time high. Okay, so now does Lilly go through the roof? Maybe. Does it go down? Maybe. But it doesn't matter. We had the 600, sold them 205. Okay. We had the 210, sold 610, sold them 205K. Don't care if lose another 50K or 80K somewhere. Don't care. So let me tell you how you get better. Don't care. Learn what I preach in my video over and over again. I say over 50 times, expect zero. Don't say, it can go to zero. Expect zero. If you go to Vegas with $100, do you expect to come back with money? If you go to Vegas with 2,000, you're probably going to lose 2,000. If you go with 10, you're probably going to lose 10. I don't care what you go with. Expect zero. And if you do good, that's great. You make more money. But here's the thing. When you do that, You don't freak out. Think about if you bought Lilly with us at 1, you sold it at 15, and then went back to 1, and then you sold it. That day went back to 1. And you didn't make any money and you lost money. And you're all pissed off. An hour later, it goes to 25. So you buy it again at 20 because you're like, oh, I made a mistake, I'm going to buy it. But now you buy it at 20. And it goes back to 1. You got beat up twice. And you know something? You should get beat up. You get beat up because you got dumb. If you expected 0 in the first place. I mean, it's fascinating to me that people come in here and say, I'm starting with $5,000, and Sam, what's the best play? And they're going to do one trade with $5,000. It's either going to work or not. But let's say it works, and it goes to $10,000. And I'm going to type in, I'm going to ask you, this is not you, but I'm going to ask you to type in, what's the next trade that guy does? If he makes $5,000, he takes it to 10. What's the next trade he does? How much is it? Come on. Just type it in. 10,000. There you go. 10,000. And that goes to 20. So what's the next trade? What's the next trade? 20. Goes to 0. It will happen. It happens. Look, I know this guy that is a casino. He's in a casino, and he's in the sports book. And he says, Sam, the amount of people that go bet $500 on the first half, and they win, and it goes to 1,000. They bet it on the second half, 1,000. It goes to 2,000. They bet it on the 3:00 game. It goes to 4,000. They bet it on the half, and it goes to 8,000. And they go 8,000, and it goes to 0. And they went 5-1, 4-1. It just happens because insanity is a thing. It's a thing. Okay? So don't get caught up in that. If you start with 5, and I tell you all the time, and you make $5,000, take 2,500 out. That way, when you get dumb, if you get dumb, you still have 25,000 or 2,500. Always take half out of what you make. Minimum. Okay? And then go again. If you go from 5 to 10, that means you can do it again. And do it again, and do it again, and do it again, and do it again. And here's the last thing I'll tell you before we start here is if you're 20 years old, 21 years old, 22 years old, I've been doing this for 35 years. And it took me 6-7 years to finally figure out all the dumb stuff I did. And let me tell you, Sam did everything in the world dumb you can do. Sam hits 90 grand and he puts 90 grand in the market within 10 minutes. Within 10 minutes. In an hour, it's 50. I mean, I'm telling you, I've done everything that you guys have done. But then you get smarter and say, oh, I made 200 grand. I'm going to be happy for at least 10 minutes, 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes. I got to be happy a little bit. I'm going to tell wifey. Well, that's a different story. Okay. Anyway. Interesting. Okay. So they expect 0. I never told any. See, people don't listen. I never said take it to 0. I said expect 0. Two different things. If you go to Vegas and you go there with 10 grand, doesn't mean you have to keep going till you lose all 10. But if you expect to lose 10, then you're different, right? You're different. And you go up and down, up and down, up and down. Let me tell you, I do the same strategy in Vegas. When I go to Vegas, I start a $100 table and I try to make $5 grand right off the bat. And if I make $5 grand, then I go play bigger. If I don't, I stay at the smaller tables. That's what I do. I mean, pretty straightforward. Okay. So today you got NVIDIA. You got Lilly. If it can get to 609, it can probably go to 630. Wow. You got Lam Research starting to move again. So they're saying RAM and memory is selling. If memory is selling, that means chips are getting better. That means it's got a big move. Now, once again, got to chill and let you know that in 2 weeks, everything is going to close down. And if after next week, next Friday, they may stop buying a lot of stuff or selling a lot of stuff, and it's a thin market, and you can go up and down. So just understand that. Even though everything's getting better, you have a shutdown coming. Okay? So just understand that. Now, last thing is Powell. Powell says the same. The amount of people out there, I keep telling you, they're just ignorant. He says, we're going to raise rates. We're almost done. We're not going to raise rates unless we need to. And yesterday he says, we're going to raise, he says it the other way. He says, we're going to raise rates if we need to. If we need to. And everybody goes, oh my God, he's going to raise rates. Look, he ain't doing shit, first of all. Okay? Let me tell you. I don't care what the CPI comes, he ain't doing shit. You know why? Because you got a shutdown coming up. What if they shut the government down? I mean, you think he's going to raise rates? People don't think. Bitcoin is moving today, too. Bitcoin is moving. It looks like in breakdown. We bought some puts just for the heck of it. They doubled right away. If you held them, you're probably down a little bit. If you sold them, you made a double. Okay? But it's trying to run. If this can get going over 40 grand, this thing can go to 600. MicroStrategy. So keep that in mind. Okay? Okay, let's get started. Good morning. 11:10. Stocks go up, stocks go down. Market was up 12. Is that what it was? Up 10. Up 11. So 43.59. 43.60. 43.72. 43.91 is huge. 4,400 is a rock of resistance. 4,409 is a massive accelerator if it can get there. Downside, if it breaks 4,300, 42.59. Okay? Avago trying to go 929, 944. Nvidia, 482. Adobe. How about Adobe? We caught it 2 times early and it's straight down. Why? Because it's not going to get to 600 unless the market gets to 4,400. So as it gets closer, then you will look at Adobe to go again. Okay? CMG, if it can get through 2120, it can move 40 today. Okay? Lam Research, 669, 672. Lilly, 609 is a big number now. Really big. Really big. Sam can do voices. Snow. Snow 158, 163. TTD, complete collapse in TTD. 55, 52. Look, they guided lower. Can't guide lower. If you guide lower, you die. That's it. Your stock is dead. And let me tell you how dead TTD is. It's probably dead because their PE is 30 or 40 or 50 for the next year. For the next year or longer. Okay, MicroStrategy 531, Coin 100, BKNG 3081 now. SMCI 272, 281, Microsoft 366 can't get to high of year. So you're going to do it next week? Maybe. We'll keep an eye on them. And then you have Tesla in no man's land. No reason to own it. No reason to play it. Maybe it goes up, maybe it goes down. Hard trade. Don't do hard trades. That we know. Expecting zero, learning single best strategy of learn. Thank you. Look, no matter what you do in life, expect zero is a good thing. If you go to Vegas, you expect zero. If you're going for 2 jobs or 3 jobs, you expect, hey, maybe you don't get them. You know why? Because then you continue to the 3rd job and the 4th job and the 5th job. How many people I know in life people have told me, oh, Sam, I had a job interview. I said, oh, good, go do 5 more. Oh, no, I'm going to get this one. And then 3 weeks later, they don't get that one. I mean, look, everything doesn't always work. But if you expect less, then you do better, and then you're happy. And you're happy. And then you try harder. I mean, and effort works. Everybody have a great trading day. See you in chat.